All right, guys, good morning. So what we are going to talk about today is how we can write the equation of a line given the slope and given a point. So we've looked at writing equations of a line from a graph, which we will review in a few minutes. But we're going to talk about today what happens if we don't have a graph, if we just have the pieces of information of the slope and a point. So let's just kind of review something we did quite a while ago, right? So 1, 2, and 3 say write the appropriate linear equation. So 1 says the slope is 1/4 and the y-intercept is -2. So that would be y equals 1/4 x minus 2. The second one has a slope of 0 and a y-intercept of 6. So we don't need to say 0x minus 6. We can simply say y equals 6. And the third one has a slope of -3 and a y-intercept of 0. So we don't need to say y equals -3x plus 0. We can just put y equals -3x. The next one wants us to find the slope. So if we're going to label these as x1, y1, and x2, y2, when we do y2 minus y1, I'll put it over here. y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. This should be 6/2, which is 3. And for number 5, I'm going to do x1, y1, x2, y2. So I'm going to do m is equal to y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1, which is going to be -6 divided by 8, which we could simplify as -3/4. All right, so let's review something we did a while ago, right? How do we find the equation of a line from a graph? Well, we probably are going to need some points. And once we've got some points, we need two things. We need the slope and we need the y-intercept. So the y-intercept should be fairly obvious. It's -5. And to find the slope, I measure the rise over the run. So I go up 1, so my rise is 1. I go 2 to the right, so my run is +2, so my slope should be 1/2. I can put that all together to write the equation of a line. Y equals 1/2 x minus 5. What's the equation of a line with a slope of 3 that passes through 2, 1? Well, this is kind of the crux of the lesson today. Now, if I had a graph, let's see what I can do. Well, I know that it passes through 2, 1, and I know the slope is 3, so I can apply a slope of 3. So I know that my equation of my line, y equals mx plus b, I've got m. I need to find b. Okay, well, I don't see b yet, right? Because I need to run my slope a little bit further. So if to get from my original point, which is here, right, to my other 2 points, I went up 3 and 1 to the right, right? That's a slope of 3. But a slope of 3 is also down 3 and 1 to the left. And that gets me down there. So now I've got my y-intercept. So I was given a slope of 3, so they told me that m was 3. I used the slope of 3 to find my y-intercept, which is -5. So the equation of my line is actually y equals 3x minus 5. Okay? Now what if I don't have a graph? Find the equation of a line with a slope of 2 that goes through this point. I don't have a graph. So I'm going to start with the information that I know. I know the equation of a line is y equals mx plus b. I know that the slope of this line is 2, so that's m. So this is where I'm at right now. Now I need to figure out how to use the 310. Well, 310 is a point on this line. Specifically, x comma y, right? That's what a pointer and ordered pair is. So what that tells me is that when x is 3, y is equal to 10 in this equation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace x with 3, and I'm going to replace y with 10. So I've got 10 is equal to 2 times 3 plus b. Well, 2 times 3 is 6. Right? Tells me b is 4. So what's my equation? Well, my slope is 2. My y-intercept is 4. Y equals 2x plus 4. That's it. There's really not that much to it. It's just kind of basic substitution. What are my rules? Let's get this in our notes. What did I just do? First, I substituted m for the slope. Second, I took the coordinates x and y, and I replaced the x coordinate with x, and I replaced the y coordinate with y. This gave me, of my 4 variables, right? I've got y equals mx plus b, 4 variables. Now I've got 3 of them. I just need to solve for b. And then you write your final equation, right? A lot of times we get our answer and we're like, oh, b is equal to 7. Well, that's not your equation. You need to go back and sub in your m and sub in your b and then write the final equation. Let's do the same thing. All right, I'll start out with the equation of a line. Y equals mx plus b. What do I know? I know the slope is 4. Okay? I'm sorry, negative 4. Now, eventually I'll do this kind of all in one step. What else do I know? I know that it goes through the point negative 5, 23, which means when x is negative 5, y is equal to positive 23. So negative 4 times negative 5 is 20. So b is 3. But that's not enough, right? We're not done. Let's put this all together. I know m is negative 4. I've now discovered that b is equal to 3. So y equals negative 4x plus 3. All right, let's see if we can do all the substitution in one step. I'm still going to start with the equation of a line. But I'm going to fill in all the information that I know. So I know my slope is 1/4. I know my x is negative 8. I know my y is positive 5. I need to find b. So 1/4 of negative 8 is negative 2. Now I need to add 2 on both sides, which gives me b is 7. Let's put it all together. I know my slope. I know my y-intercept. Y equals 1/4 x plus 7. How could we check it? Well, what would we do? We'd substitute all the information. We'd say, okay, let me substitute 1/4, let me substitute negative 8, let me substitute 5, and let me see if it works. And you're going to get 1/4 of negative 8 is negative 2, and negative 2 plus 7 is 5, and there's your check. All right, what about a slope of 0? All right, well, let's do the same thing. I'm going to fill in all my information. 0, negative 3, negative 1, looking for b. Well, 0 times negative 3 is 0. And 0 plus b is b. So b is negative 1. So my equation is y equals 0x, which is just 0 minus 1. So y equals negative 1. What could we have really, if we wanted to really think outside the box a little bit, let's think about making a connection. What's the slope of 0? It's a horizontal line. What do we know about a horizontal line? A horizontal line is equal to y equals some constant, and that constant is the y-intercept. Well, the y-coordinate would have to be the y-intercept, so y equals negative 1. Okay, and it's probably not going to be apparent the first time we do it, unless you think about graphing it or something like that, but going forward, if you see one with the slope of 0, you know it's going to be y equals a constant, and that constant is just going to be your y-coordinate. So let's just do this second one. So I've got y equals mx plus b. Right, my y is 1, my x is 8, and my m is 3/4. So 3/4 of 8 is 6, so 1 equals 6 plus b, which tells me that b is negative 5. Let's put it all together. Y equals 3/4 x minus 5. And again, if you're the type of person that likes to check things, 3/4 of 8 is 6, and 6 minus 5 is positive 1. All right, there's your homework. You're going to do those 6. You're going to show all the steps, okay? So you're going to write the equation of a line. If you've gotten pretty good at this already and you want to substitute all the information in one shot instead of doing the slope and then the point, that's perfectly fine. Show how you found the value of b. Make sure you rewrite your final equation at the end. As always, any questions whatsoever, you upload your homework on Google Classroom, post the comments.